I'm going to go over a few tickers within Vanguard's total stock market index fund. First up is Enph. We ended the day at $63.80, up 9.75%. This is where we are. To the north side takes us to 2 standard deviations, which we are very close to, and that is 64.08. Above that, at 3 standard deviations, roughly 65.30. And at 4 standard deviations and another level of resistance and a potential take profit area as well, 66.53. To the south side, back at the middle of the trend, takes us to roughly 61.61. Below that at -2 standard deviations and another level of support and another potential buy-in area, as well as this line. That would be roughly 59.20. Below that, 57.88, and at -4 standard deviations, which we will not get to on Tuesday. But if we do, you can bet people will buy in at this level of support. But don't hold your breath. That price will get to this level in one day. Something major has to happen and a black swan event, which I don't anticipate. Note this gap here would be closed out if we got to -3 standard deviations, and that takes us down to 58.13. Right now we are still in an upward trend on the 5, and then we had this gap, as you can see, closed out. And looking left, a clear bounce at support, and this is your clear sell-off at resistance. Could we go down to go up again for another leg? Absolutely. The 1-year price target on Enph is $78.21. That represents, in the big picture, long-term, a 22% return from where we are. Now, looking left, it's been a little while since I've tracked this, but the last time I looked at this price was at $57.86. Again, today it's at $63.80. And that is a return. Let me get my magnet off. It gets wonky. That is a return of roughly 15%. So congrats if you went long and the market rewarded you. But what goes up must go down. What goes down doesn't necessarily get back up again, but sometimes you got to get down to get back up. So in this case, we did exactly that. Let me delete this. And previously, I marked out a few gaps, some targets where price could go and where I anticipated it. And that touched to the upside on March 10th. The gap opened on Friday, February 28th. Delete. No longer in play. As far as this gap, that took us to 61.11, and that closed on the 7th. And started on February the 28th. So no longer in play. I delete every single price bar. That completes the gap that I anticipate. And there was a gap here. This is a very gappy ticker. And apparently I tracked this one at 73.36. That opened on Tuesday, January the 7th. That is still in play to the upside. Ignore that blue line. So we are still tracking that as a potential to the upside, but apparently when I looked at this on Tuesday, March the 4th, that target was 78.24, and what did I say? Oh, it went down by a few pennies, but no big deal, still within the same realm. But notice we're creeping just slightly closer to that line. Of course, it's not going to come easy. Let me flip this over to the daily. Option R to reset so you can see. Oh boy, I've tracked this for a very long time. Escape. Well, clearly, oops, it's getting wonky here. My goodness, something is grabbing. Let me just go to Intel. I thought I was going to do that as my top ticker for today, but in the end, it sold off a little bit, but it was the #1 ticker within this fund that I was tracking. All right, so what happened right here? That did not touch until Thursday, the 25th of April. I forgot to clean that up. Looks like everything else touched. What's this? Oh yeah, that's because I used to give you what the price targets were for the different standard deviations. All right, I'm just going to delete that. That looks like it's closed. I really should be cleaning this up on the 5-minute because that's where I mark everything out, and it's not going to line up once I go back to a different time frame. Ooh, we've got a gap here to look forward to. I will just mark it out here and then clean it up on the 5. All right, so it goes down, so I will anticipate it to go up. If you're following me, this is how you get to the different colors that you can change things to. Oh my goodness, look at this. We fell from grace big time. All these gaps and opportunities to the upside if you go long. But of course, we may never get there. And of course, we are rolling the dice. But if a company does not continue to make money, it will implode upon itself. So where are we here? This will take us to roughly 145.63, and to the top level, I'll mark that out later, 166. Still not to the price target. And oh, look at this. I marked, oh wow, look at that. We could even get back up to 220, but that's way off. Oh, look at that 1-year price target a long time ago, 288. Yeah, this thing has cratered. But that presents an opportunity. And the 52-week low is 51.63, the high 141.63, and then we're at, again, 63.80. This has run up a lot. All right, that's it. And then you'll want, and we are running up, so that's good. There's potential still to go to the upside. And let's take a look at the weekly, also running up, and the monthly, also turning up. $11 gap? I don't think so. That'd be crazy. What am I? Oh yeah, I was going to give you the price targets on the daily. So we're at 63.80 to the north side, one level, 65.73, and roughly 91.44, and to the south side, 39.68. I don't know about that, but we are still in a downward channel on the daily. Now, let me go to another one. Tesla. Ignore all the horizontal lines. I'm just going to give you price targets. We're at 238.01, down 4.79%. To the north side, the middle of the trend takes us to 239.26, which we will get to on Tuesday. 249.65, that'll close out this gap. 254.74, and don't hold your breath, 259.83. 228.92, 223.88, and 218.74. Looking left, the clear bounce here at support. Support, we almost got there, not quite. This is resistance, and people are taking their profits, selling off, because you got to get through that, and sometimes you have to go at it a few times to get past this line. But we're just following the line down. And what else is happening here? This became support, bounced off of that. So we gapped up, which means it fills to the downside, and we did basically on Monday the 17th. That took us down to 240.88. This gap is still in play, as I mentioned, and that will take us to 248.95. And what happened here? This gap closed on Thursday, March 13th, taking us down to 233.19. That is support, and then a bounce all the way up to here to a sell-off, for a sell-off, I should say, at 251.60-ish. Clear area of support. This gap opened up, still in play. That will take us to 261.82. Oh, and we've got a gazillion gaps since we flushed to the toilet. Elon is not popular right now, but I still stand by him. I think he is doing awesome for the overall fraud, abuse, and waste. Oh my God, there's so many ideas I have too. I wish I had a pipeline to him. It'd be amazing. But no, I wish they had a portal or some sort of well, I'm not talking X, but a website for the government where you can suggest ideas. I know that'd be a hard thing to actually have to go through and read those emails, but you can hire a college kid to do it. 282.40. Everyone could suggest ideas on ways the government could stop wasting money. Wasting our money drives me batty. I work hard for my money, and I don't need it to go to some stupid program. All right, 238.01 right here is where we are. So I know it's hard to see, but that lines up right there to an area we've been at 253.18 to the north side. That's all I'm going to call, and that's a long ways off up here to retrace. But we are in an upward channel. That's going to take us to 359.01, and it seems like there's no possibility of getting there, but I guarantee you at one point we will get back there. Right now, this is growing pains, and my account has imploded. I'm still up tons, but still it has cracked just like everyone else's. We are all in the same boat here. Okay, that closed down at 251.04 right here. So that is no longer in play. Oops. Command Z. Okay. Just to redo 250. I gotta grab this. There we go. 251.66 is done. What about this 240? Okay, that one is, I have to clean that one up. Now this is on the daily, mind you. And when did this touch? That touched right here on Monday, March 10th. That was in play on Tuesday, November 5th. Delete, no longer a threat to our account. Okay, these are all projections where I mentioned price could get to, and I know it didn't seem like it could when we were riding high. Look at that, riding it all the way up to rollover. And that is the stock market for you. All right, when did this touch? Or nope, it's still in play. All right, it's gonna take us down to 214.29, but not right now. Again, we're still in an upward channel. That's just something to be aware of. What is, oh goodness, then there's this one. Extend that out, that will take us to 201.65. Let me just delete that one. I've marked it out a couple times. And then this one is still in play. Why don't I just draw this, oops, get the magnet off. $214.29. There, I'll just delete that. And while I'm here, let's just do that one. 201.65, delete. Okay, that's it. Now, let's go to Nvda. Just talked about this one. First, let's go to the 5. It's just where I like to start. Okay, we ended the day at 119.53, down 1.76% to the north side. The middle of the trend is right here at 121.39, very close to this line, which I just talked about on Monday. Today is Monday night. This is for Tuesday. Why don't I just mark that out right here? Price could go this way, could go up this way. All right, to the north side, 121.43, 124.18, 125.42, and to an area we've been to 126.81. To the south side, 118.77, 117.40, and 115.97. So I mentioned this gap is in play, taking us to 118.15, and today, look at that, we got down to 118.03. So where is 118.03? Oh, right here, right there. That touched basically our gap, tickled it, but we haven't finished it out. So let's just extend that. All right, so I don't know, it's going to take a while to close out this one, but that is still a possibility. And then we've got these gaps here. And what happened? Oh, I forgot to clean this one up. That took us to the upside at 112.51 basically. And oops. Hi, Sarv. Hope you had a good trading day. My dad asks me all the time about Nvda because he's trading it too. He's been in and out. I know many people are interested in it. All right, so I think that's what's going on here? No, I already cleaned that up. I don't think oh, that's done. Okay, that's it. And I already just did this on the daily, so I'm not going to do that. Now, the last one I want to go over is Bidu. Oops. I do own this ticker, and I have not looked at it in a super duper long time. So let's give you some price targets. We ended the day at 102.27, up 9%. To the north side, resistance, a potential take profit area, 104.74. Gosh darn it, I am just doing something. 106.63, 108.73. The middle of the trend is 166. Another level of support, 96.71. This is support as well. 94.66. 92.68. This gap takes us down to 93.84. Looking left, you can see we went sideways. This is resistance, grinding along this trend line, and then making our way up a little bit. Now, there was a gap here to the downside. I will just mark it now. That's 92.45. There was a little gap that already closed, but this one to the upside, oh, that was a tiny one. Oh, wait, no, we went up. Oh, no wonder. Okay, sorry, we went up, so that means we go down. And I never marked it, and it touched right there. Okay, and that took us down to 92.72, and then we went down from here. This is support. And that was roughly in the $90 range. All right, what else is going on? That's a gap to the downside. I haven't marked this, so let me do that right now. Okay, we went down to go up, and that closed right there on March 5th, taking us up to 88.24. And oh, I forgot to change, so we gapped up here, which means we touched to the downside, and that was on February the 25th, taking us down to roughly 89.01. I need to change this to red because that was a gap down. Hi, doggy. Hi, Rosie. I've got a 120-pound bauble leaning on my arm here, and she wants my attention. Yeah, right, Rosie? Yeah? You stink. Okay. I've taken her out for 3 walks today. I'm exhausted. Okay, that went up, so it filled to the downside. Once again, so that's done. Yeah, see, I have not gone through and marked these out. So we gapped up. This fills down. That takes us to 88.05. And that gap closed already, but I didn't see that, so I didn't draw it. Oh, look at this. We gapped down, so that means we will fill to the north side, and we did that on the 17th. That took us to 97.39. And then what happened? This I extended to the downside. That is a tiny one right there, done. That took us down to 96.74. We gapped up on this one, reversing to the downside. That took us down to 93.50 on February 14th. Oh my gosh, see all this? All of these gaps? Yeah, let's just give it right there. Okay, oops. Not gonna bore you here, but yeah, that touched right there. And that touched right there, taking us down to 89.36. If you focus on a very gappy ticker, you could just trade 1 or 2 tickers to the upside or to the downside. Get in, get up, get out. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, like I said, it's been forever since I tracked this. And that touched right there, taking us down to roughly 89.76. Okay, I'm going to stop. There are so many gaps to fill or clean up. That's 83.65. Gap. Okay, now I'm going to turn this over to the daily. Option R. So look at all these gaps I have to clean up. This is a nasty fall. This ticker bled out. Look at that. Ooh wee. That was 354. Look at this. The 52-week high is only 116. Yikes. And all right, let's see what we can see here. 102.72 is here. So your channels on the daily, 104.62 and 111.56. To the south side, because there's always a south side, 97.68. Look at this. This gap closed to the upside at 99.05. All right, that will do it. You know, one other thing I want to look at, SPX. So you could have made some money. This ended on May 30th, 52.66. We're at 56.75. Look at all the gaps. So if you're trading this, your target right here, this is the daily. So 58.73 and 56.01. Now let's go to the, and plenty of room to move to the upside On the 5-minute, I like to play options here. See how that didn't line up? I lined it up to the daily and it ended right there, I believe. So there, that's where that should be. 56.62-ish. $55.91, $55.52. Don't hold your breath, $55.17, but we do have a gap to the south side, taking us down to, oops, I need that in red. 55.22. Yeah, let me just mark this one too. Let me turn on the magnet. Oh, and we have this gap. Yep, that's still in play as well. We gapped down, so this will reverse to the upside whenever we do that. All right, there you go. But on the daily, where I have not cleaned up the chart in a very long time, that touched right there, taking us down to 57.79, and then we ran. And then all of these other gaps need to be updated, like this one, for instance. I'm going to stop, though, because this video is getting long. 58.43. All right, that does it for me. That is a look at Enph, Tesla, Nvda, Bidu, and SPX. Have a great trading day, everyone.